Archimex login confirmed.
Welcome to the Lodge. You've accessed
The Lodgecast Experience.
Warning, warning, dangerous spoilers ahead. Enjoy.
It's a smoky, hazy morning in Burbank. Welcome to the Lodgecast. We're all going to have scratchy-ass voices today. I'm your Lodge Master. With me as always is Brother Bishke and Brother Lucas.
Don't go outside.
The fires are raging. It is a post-apocalyptic nightmare out there. And we are in Burbank at 10 a.m. to see the very first show of Tyler Perry's Nobody's Fool.
Woo!
When it is apocalyptic outside, you got to go in and take cover and wrap yourself in the warm, welcoming blanket of a Tyler Perry film. This is, the fifth Tyler Perry film that I will be seeing all the way through. I've dipped in on a few different Medeas and different melodramas throughout the years, but officially, Boo 2, Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, and on this very podcast, Tyler Perry's Acrimony. That's the history.
Where there was acrimony.
There was acrimony. Bishke, I think you're pretty much in the same boat, right?
Yes, I'm in the exact same boat.
And Lucas?
I'm not in the exact same boat, but I have seen a couple of those mentioned for sure.
So today it's a comedy. It's
Thank God.
I think there's also probably going to be some drama. There's going to be some drama as well, I'm sure, and some preaching.
A little lemon ledge of drama.
The Lodge Mistress, she's made a hard and fast rule that she will come to Tyler Perry films and be on the podcast, but they gotta be dramas or thrillers. So she abstained from this one. Unfortunately. I'd love to get
solid reason.
I'd love to get a female angle on the force of nature that is Tiffany Haddish. And
a little over a year ago, we saw Girls Trip at the Baldwin Hills Cinemark.
Oh wow!
And
it's only been that long.
We predicted Haddish was going to have a big year ahead. Oh my God!
Yeah, that was big. Her first big starring.
3 movies in the last month.
We were loudly proclaiming it as we left the theater. We're like, "Oh my God! Revelatory!" So, and dear listeners, we apologize. We have let you down a bit because she has come out with 3 movies in this past month. And we said we were going to do all 3 of them. We were like, triple Haddish. And then, life gets in the way. Life happens. Life itself happens.
Reviews come in and we kind of get a little disillusioned.
Reviews come in and they
shake your faith.
They knock the wind out of us. So as a way to remedy that and to save a little bit of face, we're doing one. We're doing one and done.
And I think we're picking the right one. Night School
we missed.
Ravaged.
The Oath.
The Oath looked really rough.
Looked too soon.
And this one, even though it's not getting good reviews, I don't care. It's a Tyler Perry movie. Of course it's not getting good reviews.
Critics don't understand.
Yeah.
So we got Tiffany Haddish, we got Whoopi. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's all I need to know.
I mean, I don't know anything else.
I don't know anything else. I don't think I've seen this trailer.
There's something about catfishing, I think.
Oh, wait, I have seen this trailer. Oh, we're in for a treat, boys. I think this is going to be a slippery slide of slapstick.
Whoopi seems on top of her game. It looks...
God, I miss Whoopi. Why did she just take a step out of acting and become a talk show host?
I think she's just
the
chilling.
paycheck? She's just I need a steady check.
We saw her last year in 9/11.
We did see her in 9/11.
Yeah, I know she still acts, but I feel like in the 90s after she got her Oscar for Ghost, she had so much heat, and she did make Eddie and The Associate and those movies in the 90s, but I guess in the 2000s she kind of dipped out.
I think she's just
on The View.
she's really just chilling. Like, she's got The View. I saw her do quote unquote stand up at Casino Morongo.
Whoa.
And it was a packed room, and she had maybe 10 minutes of kind of improv sex jokes, and then she just did a Q&A. I was like, what?
Whoa.
And there was somebody in the crowd that was like really into rare jazz on vinyl.
Whoa.
And they talked for maybe 15 minutes. And I looked over to the lodge mistress and I was like, you want to hit the buffet? Or? So I think she's just chilling, you know? And if Tyler Perry calls, she'll be like, sure, you know? Yeah, why not? Why not? I don't think she's actively pursuing the golden ring anymore.
Yeah.
Which
She's an EGOT already. I mean,
which
she's got
might
it
be
all.
great for comedy. If you don't give a shit, then
I haven't seen her in a movie in a theater since I can't even remember when. Like, I'm hard pressed to come up with a title right off
well,
the top
for
of
us
my
it was
head.
9/11 on 9/11.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Well, we're gonna hit the Burbank 6 first show of the day, top of the morning to you.
Gonna be empty probably.
It's gonna be
We could record in the theater.
It's gonna be very empty. It might be a Mommy and Me screening. Maybe there'll be kids in there or something. I don't know. We'll see. I know it's in a very small theater, so they're not expecting much, but it could be an intimate laugh fest. We'll see what Nobody's Fool means. We'll see if they accidentally play the Paul Newman version. And we will come back on the other side and report all the yucks and all the chuckles. Love and light to y'all.
Everybody plays the fool.
Sometimes.
There's no exception to the rule.
Listen, baby. We're back from Nobody's Fool.
Nobody's fool on the smoky Burbank.
Surprisingly well-attended 11 a.m. screening, I think because there's a discount.
Very hardy.
Yeah, it
There's
was
a
a $7
discount.
ticket, I think, for those not on the A-list. So
This is good for, yeah.
I have a lot to say, I think. I mean, it's another Tyler Perry joint.
yeah.
So before we get into it, let's hit that schnapsus.
From Rotten Tomatoes, trying to get back on her feet, wild child Tanya, Tiffany Haddish, looks to her buttoned up by the book sister Danica, Tika Sumter to help her get back on track. As these polar opposites collide with hilarious and sometimes disastrous results, Tanya discovers that Danica's picture-perfect life, including her mysterious boyfriend, may not be what it seems.
Interesting. Well, Tiffany Haddish is definitely a wild child.
Yes.
This type of role is tailor-made for her. The question is, what is the framework that they give her to play in? And if you know Tyler Perry like we do and are continuing to know, you know that playground is wide open.
Yeah,
like
very loose.
He winds people up and lets them go, and usually, you know, it's him on screen doing that, and he affords the same freedom to Tiffany Haddish here. I would love to see this script.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what was actually written down for especially her scenes, because it seems like they're just riffing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're like, this is what's going to happen in this scene.
Yeah.
But you can say whatever you want to say to get there.
Yeah, and just go as off the rails as you need to go, because that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Go for it. So, okay, this movie was sold as a catfish revenge movie.
Bait and switch. Classic bait and switch.
Huge bait and switch. Probably just because...
I was very crestfallen when the movie started, and I was asking myself, where is Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah. So this is about Danica/Danica. Danica is her business world name. Danica is what her sister Tiffany Haddish calls her. That's like the Meg Ryan role. She even watches romantic. What was it? Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
During the movie, and Tiffany Haddish is her sister who's getting out of prison after a 5-year stint. And my God, when she comes onto the screen, like at that point I was like, is this a PG-13 movie or is this an R-rated movie? They go to pick her up. She is getting railed doggy style in the back of a white Ford Bronco by this comedian named Michael Blackson, which I follow on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whether or not I'm proud of that. It's just... her entire performance is just crazy from then on out. Like, she is just running wild.
She's talking
in this
a
movie.
mile a minute.
She's at an 11 and she stays there.
She stays there. She keeps...
She has nowhere to go.
She keeps bumping... she keeps bumping the ceiling of 11. And it is... just like every other Tyler Perry movie, it is a unique experience. Like, there's nothing else like this. Conventional movie wisdom need not apply here.
Yeah, you are lost in the weeds, so to speak, in terms of the running time, in the sense
out
that
of control.
There's no structure, so you have no idea where you are. It feels like the end of Act 2, but guess what? It was the end of Act 1.
I thought it was over, and there were 40 more minutes.
Like you have no idea what's happening.
Okay, so part of that, let's break it down, because I feel... I'm going to say this, too, before we really get into it. There are people within the sound of my voice who I think would really enjoy this movie. If you think you're one of those people that I am winking and talking about, just go to it. Go to it, please. While it's in the theater, while there's still people in the theater, you'll have an amazing time. That said, no one else is going to see this that's listening to this. So we need to be the people that bring a little taste of what this is.
Of what happened, yeah.
I mean, you can't fully explain what it's like to watch this movie from beginning to end.
I mean, the biggest takeaway for me is that Tyler Perry, as an artist, has been so successful from the time I think he was a college student. Meaning, he has never truly lived in the real world. Like, he has no concept of what the real world is. Like, none at all.
It seems that way.
Like, none at all. Like, everything he's learned from
movies and TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're watching this weird fake reality that has no direct relation to your own on any level. Like, level.
And you see him coming out, now that we've seen more and more of his movies, especially his more dramatic ones, you see where he's coming through the characters. Like when the men have big monologues about, no, you need to respect me because I'm a good man. I'm one of the good ones, you know? Like, that's pure Tyler Perry coming through, uncut, unfiltered. And it's hilarious to watch because you know all of this is going on, and yet it's packaged into a quote-unquote conventional movie. Like, this is in a multiplex. You know, I say that a lot on this podcast, but
they're all pretty bizarre. Like, they're
all
crazy.
A special flavor of crazy. So, okay, part of why we get lost in the runtime and have no idea where we are is because of this catfish plot. So she has this dude named Frank at the coffee shop.
By the way, the opening credits are like text bubbles.
They're all text bubbles.
Like
it's
crazy. It makes
you
set up the whole movie is going to be like searching or like some kind of crazy computer stuff. But no, it never comes. It never comes into play ever again.
You see a computer screen.
No, you do. You see an email like an hour later,
but
all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we just used it for the opening credits.
Yeah, it's dipping its toe
Tyler
in technology. It's very dipping a toe, but at least in the early going, there's this guy that works at the coffee shop that really likes her and is giving her free coffee.
Friend-zoned hard, like just borderline friend-zone.
Yeah, Captain Friend-zone. He gives her a single rose every day. And so that's set up as like, okay, she's going to end up with that guy. But so then she is saving herself for this Charlie who she talks to on the phone sometimes, but says that he doesn't have strong enough Wi-Fi to Skype and whatnot.
He works on an oil rig.
He works on an offshore oil rig. So once her sister gets out and catches wind of this, I mean, we could do entire episodes just on every scene that Tiffany Haddish is in this movie.
Yeah.
But she comes out, she wreaks havoc in her upscale house, and she catches wind that there's this Charlie character who may or may not be real, and she talks about the show Catfish. They're not hiding it. there's actually a pretty funny line. She's like, I'm going to call Neve and Max. Well, actually, I'll probably have to email them. Like, it's just kind of funny. Like, she's like, she emails them. And at that point, I'm like, if Neve and Max show up, then I am fully on board with this. The very next scene, there they are.
Yeah, the catfish guys.
The catfish guys are in it, including Max, the director of We Are Your Friends. And they come and they set up. It's hilarious how it's as if they're shooting the show without vetting everything, you know? They just show up at her place the same day. And they wait around waiting for this guy to finally Skype because he says he's going to Skype and he doesn't. And
this whole time, Tiffany Haddish is trying to fuck everything that moves.
She's trying. She is putting it out there. She is talking about making babies with Neve. Then she moves over to Max and is like, you know, your gray hair is so hot. You're both young and old. Lucas is groaning, but I heard him laugh a few times. Maybe just out of disbelief.
Insanity.
It is insanity. So they sit around. There's a lot of cross dissolves to denote the passage of time in this, which is amazing. Like, he brings back all of the basic shit that has not been in filmmaking vogue for decades.
Yeah.
It's all just
90s
here.
romantic comedy.
Oh my God. So they sit around, basically, and he doesn't call, and then Neve and Max are gone for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But you are watching like an episode of MTV's Catfish.
Yes, for a while.
For a
There's
minute.
on-screen graphics, and it tells you what time it is. So all the while, Haddish gets a job at the coffee shop, which, when it's revealed that it's also the AA meeting place that she has to meet for her parole conditions, I'm just like, there you go, Tyler, saving time and money on locations.
Executive producer of the
just
movie.
Doubling up the locations.
Yeah,
amazing, dude.
Locations are minimal in this one.
Like, I think, like, Acrimony supposedly was shot in 6 days.
Yeah.
This could have been...
This could have been a weekend.
could have been 5.
This could have been a weekend. Oh, for sure.
So, also, they check in with their mom every once in a while, Whoopi Goldberg, who, much like in the last film we saw of her, 9/11, she is on the phone most of the time. Like, it's phone-based.
And it's not the Whoopi Goldberg we remember. It's what I affectionately refer to as the ghost of Whoopi Goldberg. Because, I mean, she is gone. Like, she is not there.
Well, okay. So Whoopi's really into medicinal marijuana.
She's growing a ton of it.
But IRL she is as well. Like, the Lodge Mistress and I have regularly bought her products, Whoopi and Maya.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, she has THC chocolate, a THC chocolate line. Mm-hmm. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Highly recommended. But anyway, so she has a great interest in that. So Tyler Perry's probably like, well, let's just lean into it. So she's got weed plants all over her house. She's constantly just blitzed. But she doesn't play blitzed very convincingly. You know, she kind of plays it a little drunk, which is funny considering how high she probably gets most of the time. But anyway, they're checking in with her a lot. She's dropping little nuggets of wisdom. The audience we saw it with was very pumped to see her. A lot of love for Whoopi in that room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She didn't really even have to do anything.
She just had a crazy wig. She had a really crazy wig.
Yeah. But anyway, so... also worth mentioning, Danica's job is...
what was it?
Marketing. She was a marketing executive, but Tyler Perry's representations of the business world in every film that I've seen are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just porno quality.
It's porno quality. Like, they have some designs out on a table, and they're like, "Oh man, we got to get this. We got to get this pitch done.
Exposition. Yeah,
we got to get this account done.
If you do good on this, you'll get the promotion, the
big
corner
promotion,
office,
the corner
bonus, the company car, and you'll be employee of the month. Like, and that ain't bad or whatever."
And that's dialogue from the film, actually. And so what she's doing specifically is there's a perfume called The List, which is about making a list for your perfect man. So she's supposed to come up with an ad campaign for it. So every night she talks to her sidekick partner. She's like, let's just go back to my place and finish this over some wine. And they never do any work. And then they come back in and they're like, what do you got for the pitch? and they're just like, the list, are you on it? And it's just like, it's like that level of work that they're putting into it.
Well, the line that she had was like, the list, you're on mine or you're not, or something like that.
Yeah, when she finally breaks through and makes everybody happy with her pitch, it's the list. Are you on mine or am I on yours? Or are we just living in the moment? Or something like that.
Yeah,
just
it doesn't make
way
any
too
sense.
wordy. And
Yeah.
the boss, inexplicably, is just like, yes.
I love it.
That's it.
Work on
That's
that.
the one. Oh my God. So anyway, in the interim, she gets suspended from her job because she's so cracked out over this.
I thought she got
this Charlie.
fired. It was like she was cleaning her desk out, but then like the next 2 scenes, she was back at work.
I know,
And I was
it's
like,
Suspended,
I guess.
which I don't know if that happened.
It's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Yeah.
Again, the corporate world, Tyler Perry doesn't really know this kind of normal corporate world. But it's always hilarious to see what he thinks of it. Because,
Yeah.
again, it's this cycle of he's seen what he's seen on like Ally McBeal and like in the movies. And it just comes back in weird ways through his weird prism. Like, I love it. So anyway, the quote-unquote main plot, she gets suspended from her job, as people do sometimes, like school. She goes home, and then it's like the movie's been off track for so long, you can feel it hit the tracks again when she's like, now we got to go find who's been tricking me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get fooled again. So they go to track down this Charlie guy. They go to this trailer park, and
There's a salad dragon.
Solid
this is
cameo.
a salad dragon scene.
Solid cameo.
There's a man in a very wet, long jerry curl in a wheelchair by this campfire. He turns around, and it's Chris Rock. And they're just... You can tell Tiffany Haddish is about to crack up because she's trying to play mad, like she's going to beat him up, and the other two have to hold her back. And he just goes on this tirade about...
He's dialed in.
I don't
Yeah,
even know.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even know
Oh, God.
what he's talking about.
He's a creepy, like paraplegic dude.
Yeah,
He said he downloaded the Idris Elba voice app.
yeah, he downloaded the Idris app so that she would fall in love with him, and he's like,
And
it
he
works
he
too.
got her, yeah.
You're about to go in the
Oh,
car
God,
and
I
get an
laughed so
umbrella
much
because
during
you're
that.
so wet. Like, and another thing that must be said, I think I mentioned it earlier. I mean, this is a dirty
Yeah,
movie.
This is a sex comedy all
Yeah.
the way.
dirty movie. Which
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah,
but
Haddish excels in that.
yeah, that's what she does. But anyway, so Haddish ends up setting his Jerry curl on fire and making some Michael Jackson jokes, and then he just gets up out of his wheelchair and jumps into a kiddie pool to put it out. An obvious stunt double who's like a muscle man. It's great. It's great. So okay, so you think that plot's wrapped up? Then we just kind of hang out in the movie for like I don't know how long after that. She falls in love or in lust with Frank from the coffee shop.
Oh, this is amazing love scene.
Amazing.
Oh,
love
my
scene.
God.
Like
all of a
they
sudden,
fade out, and
Okay.
I thought it was going to
Well,
end the love scene.
No,
Well,
that
and
was the
it
beginning.
is just the beginning.
You go
So-
from a comedy to a legit,
Oh.
like romantic drama interlude.
You guys
like,
need to hear about this. So he goes over to her house. She has trepidation because she's found out that he used to be in prison and used to be an addict. And Haddish is like, that doesn't matter. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Anyway, he comes over to her house. They spend time together that is broken up by long dissolves. So they'll start talking about some intimate details, like some actual character development, and then it'll slowly dissolve to later. Just because Tyler Perry doesn't...
Lighting changes slightly.
Lighting changes. He doesn't care about that. He wants to get to the sex scene.
Yeah.
And get to it, he does. Again, yes, it fades out. You think that's it. You think it's romantic comedy style, PG-13 romantic comedy style. But no. She gets on top of him, and it's suddenly a dramatic sex scene, and Lucas leans over and he's like, I didn't sign up for this.
It's too real. It was
too real.
It was almost felt like Tyler Perry made the movie just so he could film the sex scene, because there were so many shots of the guy,
of the
like
guy,
the ecstasy,
which is also interesting.
like with his
Yeah.
eyes rolling in the back of his head. I could not like
my
look
favorite
at it. Like,
shot.
I could not look at it.
I didn't know. I knew it was funny. I knew it was fucked up, but I didn't know what I was waiting for until I saw it. And it's the shot of she's on top of him. We show his eyes roll back, and then there's a really, really hilariously awkward shot of his toes curling violently. You guys remember that?
Yes.
That's when I was clapping during that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he like flips her over, and we continue, and the theater
They're holding hands during it.
the theater was just laughing, like the theater, because the theater's been in sex comedy mode for so long, and then we're supposed to watch this with a straight face. Like it is hilarious. So, and then right afterwards, she's like, "Leave."
Oh yeah.
And
now?
the theater was just laughing, and they weren't supposed to be.
No.
But it doesn't matter. So, anyway.
Then I thought we were wrapping up.
I thought it was almost over.
There was
then.
a couple next to us that was really annoying.
Oh my
and
God.
I was about to cut them off, but then I was like, "Oh, the movie's about over."
But there were 40 minutes
But my
left.
my favorite moment with those people next to you was when the lead girl's ex-fiance shows up at the coffee shop. The one girl sitting next to Bish, he was like, "Ew."
Yeah, she
like,
judged him instantly.
Because he was super
But,
greasy.
okay, side note, one sad consequence of these super luxe recliners that we live in this day and age at the theater is that people really do think they're at home.
Yeah, they were talking like they were at home.
They were
didn't give a
talking
shit.
full volume, full just chatty, like couple. They were just a couple like watching a stupid Netflix show or like, The Bachelor at home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, "Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that guy. Oh, weird. Oh yeah. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that was cool." Like, oh my God. But anyway, I know exactly what you're saying.
Had I known that the running time was going to keep going, I would have...
No, and I was right there too, and I was like, "Oh, but it's almost over."
I was on the edge, but then I was just like, it's almost over.
And it
kept
was
going.
not
And it kept
almost over.
going.
It was not almost
kept
over.
going.
Because then you think the catfish subplot is dead. You're like, okay, I got bait.
It's wrapped up. It's a resolution.
I got
They
fish
lit 'em on
baited
fire.
and fish switched. But then it turns out that the guy that she'd been talking to is real, and that Chris Rock was his former coach.
Yeah,
who hacked into his phone. Like even the actor who plays Charlie, who explains this, he doesn't buy it.
Doesn't sound convinced.
He doesn't buy it.
Like,
He doesn't understand what he's
clone
saying.
my phone,
And he kind of shrugs, and the
yeah.
movie the whole movie shrugs at that point, and is like, just go with it. So
He's
now
a real guy.
So now he's back in the picture, or he's in the picture for the first time, and she likes him, and he looks like she thought he looked. And so she tells she's weird and distant with Frank, who they've gone roller skating now in a montage.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. God, there's a lot going. There's a lot of scenes.
They went to a drive-in movie and are having sex in the back seat with a light on them, with a car light on them. Very discreet.
Washes over you. Yeah.
Yeah. She's acting weird with him. He's like, "You're being distant," or whatever. And so she goes on a date with this Charlie guy to see if he's the real deal. And he's just like a narcissist. He's just like talking about himself. And then they get really drunk. And like, it's just played for huge laughs. He takes her back to his hotel room and like
shots.
Yeah, and he climaxes way too early and is talking about his mom. And I thought it was a funny line, very 2018, probably only funny line, where he's like, "I got you an Uber."
No, he goes 7 minutes. She's like, "What's in 7 minutes?" He's like, "Your Uber." She's like, "You got me an Uber?" He's like, "Well, Uber pool."
Uber pool.
You can make some friends.
I save some money, you make some friends. It's win-win, you know?
It's that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
While he's washing his junk.
Well, he's while his ass is out and he's washing his junk. So anyway, she's done with him. And then there's like 2 more rounds of her trying to get back with Frank and him saying no. Like, it should have been one and done. Like,
yeah.
They go around a few times with that. And then she visits him at his cabin, and he has an anecdote earlier about doing some boys to men, proposal to a woman who, left him out in the rain and was bad to him. So she does that to him, And Tyler Perry you can tell he's like, I bought On Bended Knee, I paid for it,
Yeah.
so you do the whole song. And this poor actress is out there under the rain machine,
like getting beat.
Dude, like you can tell.
Anything, but it's On Bended Knee the entire song.
And it's like fun for Tyler Perry to shoot, but not fun for the performer.
Oh, and she's giving it her all, but like if they'd cut it like 90% shorter, it would be fine. You'd just be like, oh yeah, and then the rain started, and then he went out
he
there.
He really thinks about it.
But
like,
he thinks they cut back to him thinking about it for the entire song. She's getting soaked. She can't even open her eyes, and then he runs
on the ground.
He runs out at the key emotional high point of the song. But it's like, Tyler, you can edit the song down. We're going to forgive you. You don't have to listen to the whole thing to get to the part in the song that you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then they kiss. It fades to black. And you're like, in your mind, you're like, we haven't seen Haddish in a while. Like, she kind of dips out.
She disappears.
So what happens? Suddenly she comes on the screen and she's like, don't get up yet. Watch this. And she's at the wedding of her sister's former boyfriend who cheated on her and broke her heart. And she does the, if anyone has objections, she objects and then does a little routine. And then it's suggested that she just jumps the groom, but she jumps at the camera, and it's an out of focus freeze frame of her like jumping at the camera, and then that's it. Like, that's the end.
That's a wrap.
That's the fucking wrap. Oh my god.
Wow.
And it was 2 solid hours.
Yeah.
It was hard.
It felt
work.
longer. Like I felt like I've spent this whole day with Whoopi.
It felt like it could have gone on forever. Like it was scene, and it
felt like a TV show.
Yeah. You just could have like, this could have gone any way. I had no idea when it was gonna end.
No clue.
Yeah.
I turned to you and I'm like, where the fuck is this going?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
It was unpredictable at a certain point.
Tyler Perry is predictably unpredictable at this point. Like, you don't know. You don't know where. And he pumps out so much that it can go with his whims from week to week.
Yeah.
You know, like there was an interview with him where he's like, I didn't want to do back-to-back Medea, but I do want to put that character to bed so I can focus on other stuff. But we have another Medea movie coming out that we shot like a year ago. So I'm going to shuffle these around so that, we got a couple, sprinkle in like 3 or 4 before that. I'm like, what? Dude, you're just pumping it out.
Yeah, no one is, not even Ridley Scott can compete with that.
No. Ridley Scott's jealous. They probably have a gentleman's wager about something behind the scenes. But anyway, wow. Like, anything else stand out to you guys that we didn't cover?
I mean, I feel the movie borderlines just like on like offensive, stereotypes. Like Tyler Perry, like, I mean, I just can't believe that he can be so crass and like just
he kind of has
chauvinist, but like
but moralizing as well.
Yeah,
like, it's weird.
There's a bunch of different things that play in the mix, but it's like
it's hard to keep up with. I was
cringing so hard I had to put my sunglasses on to
put your sunglasses
to deflect
on.
Because it was.
I thought it was because you were napping.
No, man, it was too cringy. It was just like it was killing me. Like it felt wrong. Like it felt like almost minstrel. Like this is just caricature. Like holy shit.
It's out of control. There's a point where the main character is talking to Haddish, and she's like, without irony and without a lot of sarcasm in the performance, she's like, have all black men been to prison? And she's like, the good ones have, or something like that. And it's just like, what? Like, where are you coming from, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? It's hard to find where his ethics are in this.
Yeah.
Because
like, some movies, I'm like, I think he's a Christian, but then it's like,
no,
it's like the scene where she's like,
you can't be a Christian,
trying to go down on that guy, and she's like, your car's preventing me from sucking your dick, and I was like, what?
Yeah, there were some mind-boggling lines.
Which, to me, like, yeah, you can view it in a million different ways, but I just kind of strap in as a visitor, into his mind, and I think he is partially insane. So you just have to let it wash over you if you're going to survive it.
Yeah.
If you get hung up on any of this stuff, it's like Trump, he hits you with so much stuff that if you focus on one thing, you lose the forest for the trees.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just let it wash over me.
It's insane. It's
because it's got an energy. Like it move. Like after a while, there's no structure.
Right.
So you kind of just eventually lose kind of like what you've been riding on. But Haddish has an energy. It's got momentum. It's just
that's why
go, shoot, scene.
I'm really the Lodge Mistress is correct in wanting to see his thrillers more, because at least there's still plenty of weird structure, like with Acrimony. Like the structure is weird in that as well, with all the flashbacks, but there's more containment there than there is with a just kind of romantic dramedy character study. Like that can go anywhere at any time. Like with a thriller, you kind of need the screws to tighten, and then you need a climax of some sort with like some action or something.
Yeah.
And I like when he's a little more reined in and forced to deal with that, because then the crazy is even more vivid, but within a context where your eyes don't just glaze over from the sheer baffling structure of it all. That said, let's just speak our piece and go to the bones here.
Yes,
Brother Lucas, what do you got? What are you chewing on back there? I really want to. You were making so many interesting noises during this.
No, it was tough, man. It from those opening text bubbles.
Yeah, you were having a rough time
I was
there.
Not in, and Tiffany Haddish is great, but when she's just told to act manic and aggressive and hostile, it can only carry you so far. It can only go so far, and how you don't make her the lead,
right? With
that premise of getting justice for her catfish sister, which is on paper impenetrable. It's
a slam dunk.
Perfect. It's a layup. Yeah, it's how could you botch this? With with Whoopi Goldberg as the mom in the background, it's even better. And what we got was not that. And unfortunately, Tika Sumpta is not the most charismatic, grounded, great leading lady. And you spend a lot of time with her. And I have issues with not just the humor, but also the morals or the drama of Danica or Danica getting her way in the end after just using people and
right.
Just doing whatever she wants. It was very conflicting, and what kind of message is this? So for a lot of it, I was thinking this might be a woof. However, I've got to give it the Roger Ebert Memorial Half Bone for Chris Rock's cameo, because that did get me laughing, because that was legitimately great classic. It was almost like Tyler Perry was hey, do you want to play this cameo? And Chris Rock's yeah, but we got to do it my way. And Tyler Perry's oh yeah, we'll do it your way, and that was how he played it,
Or he's can I have Adam Sandler come and direct this part?
Yeah, and it's I want to get lit on fire, and then I want to get up from my wheelchair, which is the punchline of the joke.
It felt like it was from a different movie.
yeah. It felt like Keenan Ivory Wayne's I'm gonna get you, suck it. It was genius. I wish the movie had more of that, or it was Tiffany Haddish and Chris Rock or whatever, because that shit was amazing. So I give it a half bone.
All right, half bone from LT, being generous back there. Brother Bishki, the world awaits.
Yeah, Tyler runs it fast and loose, which I think is good for Haddish. I just wish we had more Haddish. She kind of disappears in the second half.
She's gone for a while.
And I wish we had a lot more Whoopi. We had maybe 5 minutes of Whoopi on screen.
Whoopi's got, if they shot this in 6 days, they shot her shit in half a day.
They shot her shit in a day, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
And when I wanted it to end, it did not.
Misbehaved.
But I had a lot of laughs. Some directly from the movie, some just scratching my head. What the hell? Just like Acrimony. It wasn't quite as mind-boggling as Acrimony. I would have liked to see it in Baldwin Hills on opening night, but here we had a good audience in AMC, and people were just kind of laughing with it and at it, and
they were laughing at like they're using every part of the buffalo. They were laughing at every little morsel from the movie.
Man, Tiffany Haddish could do no wrong. Yeah, she had 'em.
Yeah, I think they're a good team. I wish she would have been the lead, but I'll give it 2 bones.
That's a 2. You know, all these points are valid. Lucas is the moral barometer in the Prius. I agree with everything you're saying. I think there's a lot to be concerned about, and yet this is what I tune in for when I go to a Tyler Perry movie. This movie cements that I will see every Tyler Perry movie in the theater. I need to do it.
Yeah, we got a Medea coming in the spring. So
we do have Medea coming up.
That Medea trailer looked like a fake parody of like Tropic Thunder.
He's going even farther up his own. He's so far up his own ass.
He's playing every role, even himself, like amongst all those other characters.
He's gone up his own ass like 3 times. He's lapped himself up his own ass. So he is a singular creator who is in complete control with no checks.
No balances.
God damn, there's no balances.
Yeah.
So I need to know what someone like that is coming out with. And he will not, his empire will never be challenged. He's just going to keep doing whatever he wants. He's going to keep regurgitating in weird ways the things that he sees in other movies. And he's just going to keep bending genres in weird, fucked up ways. I can't wait. This movie was too long. It was off the rails from pretty much the beginning, and yet I gotta give it 2.5.
Whoa.
I had a great time at this movie. I was baffled. I was completely baffled through most of it, and I feel like every scene was a miracle that the camera stayed on the tripod and continued filming this movie. Like, at every turn, I was shocked and or delighted and or dismayed. And I can't deny it. I have a soft spot for TP. It's my Achilles heel. TP, man.
I agree. He's got a good thing going, and there's nothing stopping him.
I don't think this is a bone count from the heart. It's not from the mind. It's not, and it's definitely not from the filmmaking mind. Like it's just not. It's divorced from that. And I have to, when Tyler Perry's involved, I got to lean into that and really search my heart for that bone count, and it's 2.5.
Damn.
The people that want to see it, and you know who you are, the people that would benefit from this, go do it. Just go. Don't be nobody's fool. Just go see it. Go see the reality of it. That's it. I mean, we're entering the fall zone.
Fire season.
We get some prestige pictures.
Yeah, we keep waiting for all the prestige to drop, but here we are at Nobody's Fool. So where are those Oscar movies at? Let us know what you think. If you have anything to say on Instagram, come fight with us. Come commiserate with us.
Come down to scrap.
Come down to scrap. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes if you're feeling it. Because I don't know, it looks cool when you have 5-star ratings, I guess.
Hit us up in the comments on SoundCloud. Boom boom.
Boom boom. SoundCloud.com.
And let's all keep our fingers crossed for that eminent Tyler Perry, John Travolta co-production.
Oh my God! What are you doing? What are you doing? Getting me all excited, Lucas.
I just want to put it out in the universe. I just got to put it out there. Make it happen.
Goddess meets Medea.
Oh my God! You guys are killing me. Oh, okay. Well, you guys are gonna have to get out of the Prius because I need some alone time after dangling that in front of me.
Yes, think about it.
I will. I'll think about it tonight. Love and light,
love
everybody.
And light.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Triple Haddish, triple Haddish, triple Haddish.